Alright guys, sandwich room today. So yeah, I just put the John Deere back in because I had to use it for a couple things. I think in my yard possibly does need another mowing, but probably not going to be much time today to do that. So but yeah, so it's a nice day. It was crappy yesterday. It rained quite a fucking bit, a lot. So it was stupid. Unbelievable. But yeah, I think my grass possibly needs some mowing again. They just got theirs mowed, I think, yesterday or the day before. But mine's getting pretty close to being mowed. And yeah, I'll give you guys a couple of updates here. I think I'm pretty much well done with my new intro for 2017. And I forgot that I had a couple of old clips that I could have used, so I threw them in too. And yeah, the intro's slightly longer than the old one, but only by, I mean, you wouldn't even really notice it really. And I might be able to shave a second or two off it by fine tuning it, but in other words, I think I'm basically done with it. It's probably going to piss a lot. It's probably not going to really piss a lot of my regular subscribers off, but it may piss off the trolls. Because again, they always think that I'm copying everyone else. Well, you know what? I can do that. So yeah. So a new 2017 intro and outro are done. I actually did do it yesterday when it was cloudy out, and I took the picture with my cell phone. First of all, don't do that. I don't care how good your cell phone is, they still take crappy pictures. It might have helped a lot better if it was sunny out, but it was cloudy. So I tried it, and I just didn't like how the picture turned out. It was too gray. I did try to enhance it a little bit. That helped. So I just used a big camera here and took a couple pictures, and it turned out a lot better. And now, since I did it today, it was sunny. It's sunny out. I mean, there's not a fucking cloud in sight. So, which is actually a good thing. Which actually helps quite a bit. There ain't no clouds around. As far as I can tell, there ain't none around. But yeah. Yeah, so the flags are up. The intro is done. Yesterday, since it was rainy and crappy, I didn't feel like doing a whole heck of a lot of anything else. So I started working on more into this tiller situation here, and this tiller is literally stripped right down to basically nothing now. So I'll show you here. The camera will, there we go. Yes, the transmission is out. That was a pain in the ass. The handlebars have to come off. These things are first supposed to come off, but they don't. Well, the one did anyway, but I had a hell of a time fighting with it. I don't know why it wouldn't come off, but then after I got the transmission out, then it come off, so maybe it'll go back in easier. I don't know for sure, but yeah, everything's a fucking mess. Everything, all the bits and pieces are over there, so it's going to be a pretty time-consuming job, I guess, to put it back together. Yeah, and yes, you do have to pull the engine motor mount bolts out. You got to take at least these two here in the back out. So that's kind of what I ended up doing. And of course, got someone fucking riding by on a bike, so we'll make it look like we're doing something and whatnot. I don't know what he's doing. He's just going through all the people's yards, cleaning up branches. Okay, I'm not sure what he does doing there, but whatever. So, yeah, the transmission's out. And, Actually, I found some more information on this transmission. Um, yeah, so the engine's completely loose, and I had the engine tipped on its side over the night, and it was leaking some gas out, so it actually smells pretty gassy in here, but now it's not so gassy since the door has been up. But yes, you do have to pull at least 2 of the motor mounts, and I couldn't get this one off, this side of the panel off, because the one bolt, they cranked them on so fucking tight that I could never get it off. I couldn't even get the impact gun on it. So I tried with, wrenches and stuff, and it actually started rounding off the head of the bolt. So that bolt's on there tight, but all the other ones are out. So the engine can pretty much will do a twist if it really wanted to and whatnot. So, but yeah, so here's the transmission. She's a heavy little bastard. She's out, and yeah, I had a hell of a time getting it out. I didn't know what I was doing, so I think I have an idea now. So I think that when I get a new one, it probably should go in a lot easier. But anyways, there's quite a few problems with this. One is that here's that bearing. The bearing shot. Okay. And you can tell this has been leaking oil. There is oil, I guess, in this. You can see how it's been leaking. And this shaft, or the bearing that's in this thing here too, I think there is a bearing in here, that's getting wore out too. There's actually some slop, a little bit of slop in this shaft. So this whole thing is basically junk. You basically have to get a whole, and this thing's heavy too, but you have to get a whole new transmission. So I'll probably end up ordering a new one, and you can tell it's been leaking. I'm going to get it to stand up here for you guys. Probably can't. So right there, it's been leaking. I don't know if there's some kind of a seal there, or maybe it looks like something might have hit there, and then maybe the oil slowly leaked out. I kind of wonder if maybe I didn't hit something, and then the oil drained out of it over time. Maybe that's what shot that bearing out, because maybe that bearing needs oil. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't look like there's not much for dents anywhere else. I mean, there are some factory dents, which I think are part of it, but I don't know if that dent's supposed to be there or not. But that's where it's leaking. So it doesn't really stink like anything, but it's some kind of an oil. So yeah, there's just no fixing this. This whole thing is fucking shot, no matter which way you look at it, because this bearing is starting to go out. That bearing went out. So, and this is probably low on oil. I don't know if the new one will come with oil or not. I don't know how they expect you to put new oil in it, so I imagine that it'll probably come with oil already in it. I wasn't sure how this come out, so I pounded on it and I ended up mushing this. There's a bolt in there you got to take out. I don't know whether you have to or not, but I did anyway. Might as well salvage what you can for parts. Yeah, so I mean, both of these bearings are done. I mean, there's some slop in this, and then there's no slop in that either, but it's the bearing is shot, so you can see by how the metal sticks out down there. So the whole thing's shot, and it's leaking oil yet too, so I don't know, maybe something hit here. Maybe it was a factory, maybe it was a defect in the part, I don't know. But I'll probably end up ordering a new transmission for it. That's really all I can do, because even still, I still can't afford a brand new tiller. I mean, the one I'm looking at is $900, and yeah, it's much probably heavier built, but I can't afford that right now. Not with trying to do other upgrades to this equipment and Big Red and getting a bigger tractor. So I think if I just order a new transmission, yeah, it's going to be about 250 fucking bucks probably for a new one. There's a website that apparently sells them. I will just order it, I guess, and see if I can slap it in. See if it'll fit. Order a new transmission for this piece of crap. And so I guess slowly put it all back together. I'm going to have to take my time anyway because I kind of forget what bolts go where now. So, but don't think I'm going to get to use it anymore this year because I'm going to be taking my time with it. Maybe, you know, I mean, I always say that this could take me a whole month to put back together because I want to make sure I do it right. Well, I could probably end up doing it probably in a day or two, just, you know, depending on how hard I want to work on it. So right now I just got to get the new transmission here, make sure that it fits. But yeah, so this transmission is shot. So it's got 3 problems. This bearing's out, this bearing's on its way out, and it's leaking oil. So I'm not even sure how they put this thing together. It looks like they just crimped metal over it. They crimped the metal together. So basically, I think meaning I could probably easily rip this bitch apart if I really wanted to, which is what I'll probably end up doing when I get the new one here and I know the new one works. I'm actually going to cut this bitch open. I'm going to try to either try to peel this metal back or I'm going to cut it with a grinder or something and take it apart, see what's inside there. There must be a gear or some chain or something. I don't know. They don't explain that in the book, so you don't know. But even if you just have one problem, just either one of these bearings going out or leaking oil, you basically have to order a whole new transmission to fix that problem, which I think is stupid. If it's leaking oil, you could probably almost fix it yourself with some kind of a sealant, but if you got a bearing issue, you're going to have to order a whole new thing. I don't know of any places that would punch this bearing out, and since I think about it, I don't think you can take it out. I think it's a fixed ball bearing, so it's no good anyway, because this bearing's shot, this bearing's about to go out, and it's leaking oil, so you're just better off replacing the whole thing and being done with it. I think it's all just shit now. Got one can of paint left too, I didn't even use it all. So yeah, I don't know, but that's it. It took me a little while to tear this bitch apart. I was fucking probably for at least a couple hours, but I had the time to do it. And it was raining yesterday, so I figured I might as well rip into the bitch. And it was a nightmare because I didn't really know what I was doing. Because those things and that orange guard are all bolted to the motor, so you basically have to take the bolts out. So basically, it's like you're taking the motor off, just to take your transmission off, which I think is a little bit stupid, from what I can tell anyway. But yeah, so that's basically how a tiller would come from the factory. If you, well, I think that's how Husky would ship it to their dealers. They would probably be in pieces. I don't know. That's how they put them together, I guess, whatever. But I didn't think it was very fun that I had to tear it that far apart. I was just hoping that maybe, because these things are a pain in the ass to bend back. You can't bend those without breaking them, so you have to loosen the motor bolts or take them right out. So it's going to be a fun job to put the tranny back in, but at least it'll be going in and not out, you know, because now I kind of know what I'm doing to put it back in there. I'm just doing the opposite of what I did, but remembering is going to be the fun part. So yeah, so that's what's going on here. Got the tranny out, and I'll probably order a new one for it, I guess. I can't find these on the Husky website or anything like that, but there is another website, another company that's selling these trannies, and they said it'll fit to an ft-900. That's basically, it looks the same measurement wise. I don't know, but I'm sure it's the same. So yeah, I don't know what it is with these trannies, but they're shit. So I'll probably just order a new tranny for it because it'll be cheaper than having to buy a new one, I guess. But then at some point I'm going to buy a new tiller, so I'm going to be investing in a bigger tiller. Well, I will be investing in a tiller at some point for the deer. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it or this year anyway, because I have to put the 3-point and everything on the back, and then I got to try to invest in a snowblower. So, you know, not the snowblower is going to be probably a couple $1,000. So, and then if you want a tiller too, which will just be a John Deere, they want at least, you know, 2,500, you know. So 3,000 if you want their heavy duty model, which is the Frontier. I think John Deere is just a standard, but Frontier is they offer a heavier, dutier kind. I think the John Deere would be just fine. So, but I mean I like this tiller because it goes up and down between the rows of your plants real nice. Whereas this thing, you never could do it. It's good for fall tilling and spring tilling, like you want to get your soil ready for the year. This machine's perfect to do that, but not that, because it takes too damn long. You know, I mean, basically, it takes me about half a day to till my rows, if not 2 days. With that, depending on how hard I push, I could basically double it with this setup. Have it done in probably half a day, you know. If I push hard. Which, well, I push everything pretty hard. So, explaining probably why the tiller training went out, but I don't know. I probably took some stuff off that I probably didn't have to, but I did anyway. Because I didn't know for sure. That's how you learn, guys. You just gotta tear into it and figure it the frig out, you know. It's the only way you're gonna ever learn anything. So, it's all in pieces. It's been sitting here, for about 2 months now. I didn't touch it for about a month, just because I didn't feel like it. Because, well, that tranny deal pissed me off. But now since I got it out, it doesn't seem so bad now. But freaking A, it's going to be a cocksucker to put it back together. I can damn well guarantee you that. But they always say that if you're going to work on something, and if you get frustrated at it, or if it doesn't work to your liking, they say just to walk away from it for a little while. Take a break, go for a smoke or a drink or something, you know, or watch something. Go watch some TV or something for a while. They say to take a break. Calm down, relax a little bit, think about it maybe a little bit, and then go back and hit it again, and usually it works the second time. So, of course, for me, I just keep on going. Even when I'm beyond pissed off, I just keep going. I don't stop and take a break. So you end up getting a little bit more forceful with things. That's how you end up breaking shit. But I didn't break anything as far as I know, so besides the tranny, but the tranny was already shit anyway, so I didn't break anything on it. It broke when I was working it, but you know, it's still junk, so. But you know what? I mean, there's nothing wrong with the tiller besides the transmission. If the transmission never would have blew out, I would still be using it. Even to this day, I'd still be using it. Because that's desperately needed right now. But since I worked most of the gardens up with the big cultivator, I'm not getting so much for weeds, because the tiller, or the cultivator, can go so much deeper into the ground than the tiller can. I basically get the weeds by the root, you know, compared to this thing, I'm just hitting the surface. Deep tilling would suck. So, but right now, since I worked most of the gardens up with the big cultivator, I took the wings off, and I pulled it with this thing. I don't really have a weed issue. It's just been in between the rows where you have weed issues. But we're slowly getting things taken out of our garden, so we're getting more and more room now. So we're basically down to nothing now in the south garden. The north garden is still full, but the south garden is getting pretty bare. So, but yeah, so there you go. The training's out. I'm gonna probably order a new one on payday. That'll probably be about probably maybe a $300 part. It's $250 on their website, but I'm sure they're going to want something for shipping and handling. So, let's hope that it'll come with all the oil and shit, because I don't see a way of putting oil in this. So, unless it's packed with grease, and maybe the grease. I mean, something's leaking though. You can clearly see that here's dry and here's wet, so something's leaking out, and it's. I don't know if it's grease or if it's oil. It doesn't stink. Usually grease and oil stink, so And sure the hell isn't just water, because if it was water, fuck, that would have rotted out on the first day you bought the thing, took the thing home, you know. Water and steel does not mix. Oil and steel and grease and steel mix, because that won't rot it out. It actually does it some good. So I don't know, boys. And the engine needs new oil. I'm probably not even going to bother changing it this year. I know I was going to change it this year, or this fall. But since it's going to be down, I think it's going to be down basically until the snow flies. I'm not even going to bother changing it. So I'll have to change it in spring. Because then it's due. So it's due now to get an oil change, but screw it. I'll do it next year then. Unless I can get it fixed in time, but I don't know. I'll probably just end up putting the tranny together, testing it, and then putting stabilizer in the fuel and parking it. Probably won't even get to break the new tranny in, but no, I'll break her in good next year, that's for sure, no matter what. So, I mean, it wouldn't be such a big deal for me, really, if things broke down. Well, there's two reasons why I don't like doing this. Because for one, I'm still learning this crap. And two, I don't have a heated building to work on it during the winter. I mean, if this tiller broke down in fall, late fall, I could work on it throughout the winter, you know. See, but right now I'm pushing hard because I'm trying to get done before the frickin' winter hits. Because I can't work in the winter time. If the shop was heatable, then yeah, I'd be working on shit all year round. But I can't, so it's not an option. So I'm going to try to order a new tranny for it. Hopefully it fixes it and I can get her put back together and we can use it. Even at least once. I don't know, I may have to till him when the snow's flying just to break it in, but screw it. We got the big John Deere that'll pull that cultivator. I'll probably be pulling it with big red because by then there won't be nothing in the gardens at all. So then I can put the wings back on and really give her. Don't like using the John Deere too much because it wears out the hitch. Hitch is too damn soft. So, but yeah, so the piece of shit tranny's out. Like I said, I'll order a new one on payday. And slap her in, I guess. That's all I can do. So, what I can do about it, boys. But yeah, she looks a little bit stiff. It all tore down the fucking, basically nothing. I didn't disconnect the wiring for the handlebars or the levers, but they're still, they're still there. But one of the springs is disconnected, I think, because I had to disconnect it. So yeah, it's down there. It's still hooked, I guess. But it's going to be a clusterfuck to put it back together. But I got to get that tranny here. Once I get the tranny put in and the plate put back in, the plates put back on, and the engine bolted down, that's the worst part of it. The easiest thing will be to put the handlebars back on and then route the stupid damn belts again. Oh yeah, and then put all that shit back together too. But whatever, we're getting there, boys. So anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.
Thank you.